rtfc.baconicecream.com.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, and this is yet another Team RTFC video. Sans, Eric was still locked in to that battle with work. And I just want to grab him and just be like, take him out, take him, come on and play these things. But anyway, we got to press on. We wish Eric all the best. He's doing big things at work. We know it's super busy, but we miss him, and we want him to come and play cool, silly games and stuff in the studio. So, with that being said, we got some work to do. And what's today's work? Today's work is going over to the battle zone and throwing down with the decks that we introduced on the last video that we did for Anthium TwoTales. You guys don't remember who that is? It's that guy right there. There he is. Go check him out. Also, while you're out there, of course, go down, description below. Come on, check it out. All right, you know what it's all about. If you haven't seen the preview video for the other, for the deck unveiling, for the grand prize winner who was Anthium TwoTales, go out in the ether of the Bacon Ice Cream channel and check out that video. It was the last one that we posted. Go watch that, come back, and then you'll find out what's going on a little bit more. So what we got today is we're going to do, like I said, a exhibition match between the deck that was selected by Anthium and the deck that we made to complement the deck that was selected by Anthium. So how are we going to do that with just one person? Well, it's going to be a little open hand solitaire time. That's how we're going to do this. I've never done this before on camera, but it is a strategy that I use often to test out decks. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to the battle zone, and then what we're going to do is kind of like place out the play area a little bit weird, just so you guys can see it all on camera, and so we can like fix it, and so I don't have to like get up and move around all over the place. It'll be a little funky, but trust me, guys, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be fun, a fun watch, especially if someone out there has any experience with our previous Team RTFC videos, or anybody that's watching collectible card game matches online. This might be a little different for you folks, but hey, I think it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna give you guys, especially Anthium, it's gonna give you guys a little bit more in detail what this game is all about and how it works. So with all of that done, let's go to the battle zone and get this thing kicked off. All right, we're back over here. All right, so we got our two decks. They are set up. We've got the five-bot opponent in the whatchamacallit deck, the Superion deck, and then of course the deck that was selected was the Optimus Maximus deck. All right, so how we're going to do this, I'm going to move this mic over here, and I'm going to hope that it gets me as I'm talking, because I'm going to do a lot of like, I'm actually going to stand up and do this. All right, so we're going to move up our counters, because we're going to use both sets of our counters today for today's match. All right. And then we're going to set up. So normally how you do a normal setup is you put your bots out. Now, what we're going to do for this is, like I said, a little bit different, a little bit weird. And I want to make sure that everyone can read all of the stuff here. So we're going to do Optimus Prime, Prowl, and Ironhide, and we're going to do them here as if it was going to be my play, right? We're going to move him over here real quick. All right, Optimus Prime, Prowl, Ironhide, and then these guys are the KO area, right? So they're going to be here. Yeah, playing combiners on a double play mat. trying to get it all on camera. It's probably going to be pretty messy, but we're going to do it. Let's see. Push these up so we can see them. Where's my limits? All right. Okay, so having the monitor helps. So they're going to be chilling out here. All right, and then the deck, sans sideboard. All right, so sideboard goes away. Deck's going to be right here. All right, first we got to shuffle up. It's going to be a loose pile shuffle, and some of these games, this exhibition game is probably going to be a little bit of a nightmare for a player, because I had put them all in like different orders and like that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens here. All right. Do a little cut action here. Should be okay. Like I said, it's an exhibition match. We're not playing for keeps here. We're just playing to show how the game goes. All right, sand sideboard again for the opponent. Shuffle their deck together. All right, and then we're gonna place them facing us, and then we're gonna play everything. Hand up, we're going to play everything like everybody's going to be able to see pretty much everything. All right, so we got this one nice and set. So we'll put this deck over here. Like I said, sideboards to the side. And then we've got Superion. Well, not yet anyway, right? So these guys are all going to be here, all right? Air Raid, Silverbolt, Skydive, Alpha Bravo, Fireflight. Okay, so then we're going to cover up our modes with some rando cards. So we all know how we're going to start the game. Okay, let me just make sure we're getting everybody in there. Yes, we have everybody in, and I've got a little bit of play. Oops, forgot to turn them around actually. All right, so we'll turn these around. So I got a little bit of play here. So I can put the hands on the other side and then go from there. Okay, there we go. All right. Like I said, this is going to be like kind of fast and loose, but you know, we're just playing around to have fun. All right. So normally you decide who goes first, and you know, by a roll of the dice or something like that, right? So we're not going to do any of that right now. What we're going to do is we're actually just going to give the opportunity for this player, the Optimus Maximus player, to make the choice as to whether or not they want to play first or pass. Now, in this sense, all right, sometimes you have to consider: do you want to always go first, or do you want to pass? Now, in playing against these guys, sometimes you might actually want to give your opponent the draw, like, you know, give them the chance to go ahead and attack first. Maybe you're just trying to suss out what their deck's going to do. Maybe you're just trying to do whatever, or maybe you have a specific strategy. But usually when you're down on players, you don't necessarily want to go first, because what you're trying to do is mitigate end of you know, the end of series. There used to be there's definitely a term for it, but Just can't remember what it is. Um, but there's some strategy behind it. So when you get to, so let's just work it out, right? Say I go first, right, and I attack with Optimus Prime. You wouldn't do it, but you attack. Okay, then they attack, and then I attack, and then you attack, and then I attack, and then you attack, right? Well, the turns keep going, right? Now everybody's tapped, everybody's engaged on this side. Well, the opponent's turn, that starts here, they have to attack with everyone until everybody's tapped because your opponent's all tapped out, right? So he has to attack with this one and this one, unless they're all dead or whatever, through various means. But that might not be so good for you. But if you went the other way, right, where you let them attack, right? So they attack, you attack back. They attack, you attack back. They attack, you attack back. Oh, I guess it's either way. They're gonna work it out. There's some ways that you can actually do it where you're leading them to attack. Where I just did that. I just did that the other way, right? They attack, you attack back. They attack, you attack. Yeah, no, it's still the same. But it's a way of controlling like game flow. It was a bad example, but there are other ways where like when you're doing that, the fourth character would be like not engaged, but maybe better set up in a scenario where you would want them to attack first rather than you going. Now in this case, there are some other things that you have to consider. So if you were going to attack first, right? No matter what, right now you have to look at this. So Fireflight, right here, he's got a trigger. His trigger is Brave, right? Now Brave means no matter what happens, on the field of play, when you attack. Now normally, when everybody's untapped and you're the first player, you get to choose who you're going to attack because no one's actually tapped yet. So if I want to go Ironhide, I don't have a choice. I have to attack Firefly because he has Brave. Now, if he didn't have Brave, he was in a different mode or something like that, I could attack anyone who I wanted, right? But that's not the case. And what happens after everybody does that attack is everybody untaps, by the way. So once you're all tapped out, everybody untaps. But we'll get to more of that later. So in strategy, trying to decide who goes first and who goes second, sometimes it does matter. In this case, like I said, we gave the decision to the Optimus Maximus team as to who's going to go first. And in this case, let's just roll the bones, and the Optimus Maximus player is going to go first. So we draw cards. So we draw 1, 2, 3 for this guy, and we draw 1, 2, 3 for this guy. All right. So we look at the hand, and we can't do anything, right? Because it's the first turn, and the player that's on the draw can't do anything. But they can transform. So if you remember from the other video, sometimes you can transform and do things like Sunstreaker, Autobot Hot Rod, or Mirage. You can look at an opponent's hand and scrap an action from it. You can do damage to an enemy, or you can flip to draw a card. Now these guys also can do that stuff, where you can like do flipping. This one is only from the KO area, so you wouldn't want to do that. This one is in the carry area, so you wouldn't want to do that. And then when this attacks, and you flip at least a white, orange, and blue, you may flip a character from the KO area into its other mode. So it gives you a little bit of chance to like pump up the the speed in which you guys are transforming, because of course you want to become Optimus Maximus if that's your goal. But for right now, I want a little card advantage, so I'm going to flip some Sunstreaker. I'm going to change him over, and when you flip this into your KO area from when you flip this card in the KO area, draw a card. So we're going to draw another card, right? So we got a zap. So we got a zap, we got a supercharge, and a force field, and a grenade launcher. We can't do anything with any of this, so it doesn't matter. So now we're going to attack. Again, we have to attack Fireflight, so no matter what, that's who we're going to go for. So now who do we decide to send out first? Do we decide to send Optimus Prime? He's our leader. He's got 4 attack, 15 health, 2 defense, or Prowl, which is 5 attack, 10 health, 1 defense, or Ironhide, which is 4, 10, and 2. Now, in this sense, this deck is built to do maximum amounts of damage all the time. So it's a flamethrower. It's basically, I want to throw as much damage out as possible. So we can only attack Fireflight, who has Brave. It's 1 attack, 7 health, 2 defense. So the name of the game is, can we do 9 damage? Now, right now, probably not. Let's just see. So over here, he's got bold 1 and 5. So we flip 2 cards automatically, right? And most of this deck is orange and white. So you've got a good shot at most of your cards being orange. And if you get a white in there, even better, you can flip more cards. And then because of bold 1, you can flip an additional card on this attack. So can we get there? Probably not. Even if you got lucky and you did 1, 2, 3, if you flipped 3 cards and they were all orange, that would take him to 8. That's 1 less. He'd be at 1, which is good, but not dead, right? And that's what we want. We want him to be off the battlefield so we can, limit the amount of players that are attacking back. If you hit a white in there, you'd be just on if you hit 1 orange, 2 orange, 1 white, 1 orange, 2 orange. That's 9. That's exact. Now, we have to remember that he's flipping too. So he's going to flip for his stuff. And if you're looking at his hands, he's got all blue and white, right? Well, obviously, as a player, you wouldn't know that, but most Superion players play defense. So you kind of know. Like, you're up against Superion, he's probably got a lot of blue in the deck. So you're probably not going to just kill him outright. But there is an opportunity to do some pretty decent damage. Because they're going to attack back, he's going to attack, you can look at your opponent and see, all right, well, how many attack? He's got 1, he's got 2, he's got 3, he's got 2, he's got 3. So chances are we're not going to have a lot of things coming back to us in the way of true damage. But in our deck, even though our opponent doesn't know it, we don't have a lot of defense. So no matter what he attacks with, we're probably going to get hit with whatever he attacks with anyway. So now here, that's the decision, right? That's how you're going back and forth. So right now, I'm not going to play it safe because this deck is meant to be a flamethrower, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to attack with Prowl, right? And I have to attack Fireflight. So you tap to attack. You announce your who you're attacking. I'm attacking Fireflight, and now the battle begins, right? So we start flipping cards. So we flip a double pip orange, and then we flip a single pip orange. He's got bold 1, so we flip 1 more, and we flip a single pip orange. So now there are these periods of time, right, where you can get double pip oranges, which add to your attack. So in that scenario where we needed to do 9 to kill Fireflight, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? That's enough to kill him outright. But of course, he has to flip for his defense. So let's see how he does. Single pip blue, single pip black. Blacks are relevant on defense, so we don't have to worry about that too much. And the second card is a single pip blue. So he's defending for 4. So we take these 4 out, right? Because that's the defense. And then he's going to take 5 damage from Prowl, which is a pretty good opening attack. So he's at 5. These cards go in the discard pile. We're going to move this deck down. We're going to put these cards in the discard pile there. The battle is over. Then the turn turn passes to go to the next player. So the next player draws. All right. So we've got 4 cards, and now the player can actually do something. They can do one. They can play 1 card from their hand, either an action or an upgrade, but only 1 because it's the first turn. Because in the very beginning of the game, again, the first player can't play any cards; they can only transform. And of course, we can also transform here too, right? So before we do any playing of cards and looking at that, we're going to choose to transform. Now we can transform any of these into the different modes, and they have like different things. But just for the simplicity of doing this, Air Raid here doesn't have any abilities when he's in his bot mode or his alt mode. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to transform Air Raid right now. That transforms him into his bot mode, and in his bot mode it says when this damages an enemy, scrap an upgrade on that enemy, which is a pretty cool ability. So it gives him 4 attack, 8 health, 0 defense. Now we're probably not going to attack with him just yet, and I'm going to get to the reason why we're not going to do that in just a second. But it's a good, it's usually a good opening move when you're playing Superion. So now we've got to look at the rest of our field. Remember, we got Fireflight, he's damaged. So we're probably not going to attack with him either. Let's look at our hand, see what we got. We've got an Inferno Breath that says tap one of your untapped characters that has 5 stars or more, which all of them are. They're all 5 stars. And then do 3 damage to an enemy, which is pretty cool. We've got 2 of those. We got a Vaporize, which scraps an enemy upgrade. There's no upgrades here on the field at all, so that's a useless card. You wouldn't want to play that right now. And then we've got Dampening Field. And this one is a secret action, and you reveal it when one of your characters defends. And it says when revealed, your opponent can't flip more than 4 battle cards during this battle, which is actually a pretty cool ability. So right now, as you're looking, we could tap a character to try to do a direct damage to one of the enemies. Now, normally though, you probably want to do this you want to use that card to finish off an enemy, or deal enough damage to try to make your opponent maybe consider not attacking with that particular card that turn. So we're going to hold off on using the Inferno Breaths. Do we have to play a card? No, we don't. We can choose not to and just attack. But in this case, we can see what really this deck can do as far as this stuff goes. So we're going to try to hinder the ability of the Optimus Maximus opponent to play cards. So we're going to play this Dampening Field. Now, how do you play a secret action? Normally, you would just play a card and it would just be face up, and you would just get the effect, right? But it's a secret action, so the opponent's not supposed to know what the card does. So you can play it right here in the middle of the field and just say, I set a secret action. And you go, okay. Could be anything. It could be knowing this deck. It could be something like Infiltrate, which is actually handy because it's right here. What that does is reveal when your opponent plays an orange action, which, of course, this deck has pretty much all orange actions. And when revealed, you scrap an action, and it has no effect. So it just nullifies an action, which is pretty cool. Especially when you're playing against, like a Fire Hose deck like this, which is all orange. So you've set your secret action. Now it's time to attack. Who are you going to attack with? Well, this guy has Brave, but he's really, really damaged. You probably don't want to attack with him. This guy has 4 attack, which is more than any of the others in this mode, but he only has his 0 defense. And you can't use his ability because there's no weapons on anyone, so maybe not Air Raid. Alpha Bravo only has 2 attack. This has 2 attack, but this one has 3 attack. Alpha Bravo's text also is when an enemy plane attacks, do 1 damage to it. So that doesn't do much to us because all these guys here are cars. And this one has Bold 1, which is cool. And when this attacks and you have flipped at least a white, an orange, and a blue, you can flip him into bot mode, which is also a pretty cool ability. But we maybe necessarily don't want to attack with Silver Bolt just yet. what we do want to do is attack with Skydive. Why? Well, he has another trigger on his card. That's Tough 2. What does Tough 2 do? It allows you to flip more cards on defense. Just like Bold allows you to flip more on offense, he flips more on defense. So what you're doing is setting up an attack where you can attack, and you have to attack Prowl because Prowl's the only one on the table. You're going to attack Prowl with Skydive, and Skydive has Tough 2. So when you attack, because now you're setting it up, you can only attack people that are tapped, and once the first attack happens, well, you're going to have to attack into Skydive. No matter who I choose on this side as the Optimus Maximus player, I have to attack Skydive, which means she's gonna flip 2 extra defense cards on defense, which is pretty annoying. But that's the point, right? So now let the battle begin. Prowl is going to flip on defense, but after the attack. So we flip 2 for him for attack. 1, that's a blue and a green. And 2, that is a blue and a black, which means Pierce. So we're going to get to that in a second. So right now, it's all blues. He's only got the 3 into 1, and that's how we're going to do. We flip for defense for Prowl. That's a green. And that's a orange. So right away, we just do the math real quick. 1 minus the 3 is 2. He takes 2 damage. Prowl says, ouch. And now Prowl's an H. So now we've got green pips in play. Now what does that mean? That means after the battle is over, you can choose to take a card out of your hand and take one of the cards that are in play. So in this case, we've got the Enigma that changes this guy into Optimus Maximus after everyone has gone and done their thing. So when we're looking in our hand, we've got a grenade launcher, a force field, a supercharge, and a zap. Do we want the Enigma right now? Maybe, maybe not. But you might not see it again or see it for a while. This is really early game, so there might be reasons why you want these other cards. But for right now, we're just going to show you how the card effect goes. We're going to take the zap out of our hand, and we're going to take it for the Enigma. Now on the other side, we've got another blue and green. This is a weapon. So we've got all actions in our hand. So with this weapon, you can actually put it on a character, give it +2, and if the upgraded character is attacking a Decepticon, it's got Pierce 2, which is a pretty cool ability. Speaking of the Pierce, you got that black pip there, and this attack, it doesn't really matter because there was Pierce 1. So when we did the calculation, going back to that for a second, it's 3 minus 1. So that's 2 Pierce 1. So no matter what, if somehow I was able to get this to 3, I'd still take 1 damage. That's what that means. And in a case where this was also on this character, not only would be +2 attack, but he would take Pierce 2 if it was a Decepticon. They're not in this case, but if there was, then you could actually do some cool stuff. So for right now, this is a weapon that you can get that basically pumps everybody, the character that you put up to +2. And it won't give them Pierce 2 because we're not fighting Decepticons in this battle, but it is still a pretty cool card. So the decision is, do we choose to get rid of one of these in order to do this, or do we not? Now, Vaporize is a cool card. It allows you to scrap an enemy upgrade, and like I said, we've got 2 of those Inferno Breaths that allow you to tap characters to do 3 damage to an enemy. Now, do we need 2 of them? Maybe, maybe not. Do we need this upgrade? Also, maybe, maybe not. In this case, I'm probably going to choose not to get this because I know there's more Nobles Blasters in a deck. So we're going to let that go. So we're going to go with not getting that card. And then this goes over here. And then you'd pass the turn. The turn would come back to here. We would draw a card. We draw a incoming transmission. All right. So now it's time to attack. Now we've got to really, really attack, right? Because we have to attack a character that has Tough 2. So what we're going to do is we have to choose what we're going to maybe play, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to attack. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just like step up to the plate. We're hauling that bat back, and we're going to swing for the fences. That's what's going to happen now, because, you know, like I said, this deck is a fire hose. It's fire hose time. Let's take out somebody. So we're going to choose to attack with Ironhide. Now Ironhide has a KO area thing for when he attacks, so that doesn't necessarily do anything for us. But some of these other guys have some KO area effects that we might want to look at. So Autobot Mirage has that thing where we have to look at the hand and then scrap an action, right? So let's flip Autobot Mirage so we can take a look at this hand. Now obviously it's open, so now the opponent can now see, the Optimus Maximus player can see the Vaporize, the Inferno Breath, and the Inferno Breath. So what do we not like? Well, we don't like the fact that they can tap characters to do 3 damage to a character, because we don't have a lot of defense. But we also really don't like the fact that they can scrap an enemy upgrade with that Vaporize. So what do? In this case, because we don't want any inhibiting factors on anything for our ability to either sort of defend ourselves or just do massive amounts of damage, we're going to choose to take the Vaporize out, because the 3 damage we might be able to mitigate. So Vaporize goes. So now they're left with just 2 Inferno Breaths in the hand for that opponent. We've transformed for the turn. Now it's time to attack, and we're going to attack with Ironhide. Oh, wait, not yet. Sorry, we have to play cards first. Wow. It's shaking off their rest. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a grenade launcher on Ironhide. That gives him +4, but after the attack ends, we have to scrap the card. So it's kind of like an action that is in the place of a upgrade. So it's a temporary boost of 4. So now we got a base 8. And in order to take this guy out, he's only got 1 defense, but he's got tough 2. He's got 8 health. So we're already at 8. We have to get past that 1 to 9. And he's got bold 1. So we might be able to get there. Let's help him even more. We're going to play Supercharge. What Supercharge does is give the character bold 3 until the end of turn. Now we're talking. So we got Ironhide with bold 1. You just gave it bold 3, so that's bold 4. And you've got, when after the upgraded character attacks, scrap this card +4. So that's 8 plus bold 4. And now we attack Skydive. So the attack commences. You always flip attack first. So we've got 8 on the board. That's 9. That's a black. So that's Pierce. So that's the normal 2. Now we flip the bold. That's bold 1 is another orange. Bold 2 is an orange black. Oh, there's a white. So that's bold 3. And that's bold 4. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards flipped, right? So that satisfies the 2, the bold 1, and the bold 3. But the white pip says flip 2 more. So now we flip another 1 and another 2. So not a whole lot of help in the bold category. We only added, so we've got 8, 9, 10, 11 to Skydive, who right now is defending 1 off the bat. But if he defends a whole bunch, we've got some Pierce to deal with. So we'll see what happens. So let's flip. That's 1. That's a white. That's 1 white for tough. That's the 2 tough, but then the white means he flips 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're defending. So let's go over that again. We flipped 2 for defense. We flipped 2 for the tough 2, and then because of the white pip, we flipped 2 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 6 damage, 6 total damage that will go onto Skydive. So Skydive says, big ouch. Now there's some blues. Actually, Noble's Blaster is hanging out in both categories. Does anyone want the Noble's Blaster? Maybe, maybe not. Well, we just took out the Vaporize, so this player might be feeling lucky. He's already got some cool cards. But there's an action and an upgrade and another action that he's probably not going to be using for a little bit. Does he need 2 upgrades and then hope that he's going to get an action out of the thing? Maybe not. Maybe he lets that go. So he's going to let that go. And like I said, the grenade launcher and the supercharge, they go away. And then for the Noble's Blaster, this guy now has 2 cards in his hand. It's only 2 actions. One that does the 3 damage, and one that he now knows, oh man, I gotta start doing damage to this guy. So maybe he will take. So we get that, and he's gonna take the Noble's Blaster. So at least he can play 2 cards in this turn. And then these all go away. Okay, so he's got the Noble's Blaster, we got that, we got that. We pass the turn. And then it's this player's turn again. We draw. We draw a Smoke Cloak. Okay, cool. So we've got an action and 2 upgrades. Now, first we look at our field. We're probably going to want to transform somebody. We probably don't want to transform Skydive because he's already out, and he's already doing his thing. We transformed Air Raid because he didn't have any text on that, so we wanted to get rid of that. Let's transform Fireflight because, again, he's not going to use his Brave ability just yet. But what he does have is when he has 4 or more damage counters on him, he has +1. So that automatically gives him a 3 instead of a 2 on his field. So that's pretty cool. We're probably going to take care of that. Okay, so we transformed. We can play some cards. Let's see. Do we want to do this damage dealing thing just yet? Well, not sure. So maybe we hold off on doing that. The Noble's Blaster gives somebody +2. Let's see if we have somebody else that would want to do something. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give the Noble's Blaster to Silverbolt, right? Because we're gonna give him some boosts. So now he doesn't have the Pierce thing, but he does have +2. So that's his 4 coming at whoever they're going to attack. And right now we want to focus on Proud because he's already damaged and he's the only one that's engaged or can be attacked that has the least amount of defense. So we're going to try to take him out first. So Silverbolt will attack. That's 4 coming in, the 1 defense added to 1, 2. 2 blues doesn't help. Oh, and he has bold 1. So 1 extra. Oh, there's an Enigma. All right. Still no help to the attack, but we're going to go here against bold 1. So that's flipped 1, flip 2. White means flip 2 more. And there you go. So no help on the defense. So he's going to take 3, 4 minus 1. So he's going to take 3. So we're going to change this 2 damage that he had out to a 5. So he's got 5 damage on him, halfway done. And then now we look at our greens. Do we want to get rid of 1 to get the Enigma? We've seen it once. We know there's multiples in the deck. Maybe he's going to decide, no, that Smoke Cloak and the Inferno Breath might come in handy. So we're going to hold off on that. Now over here, we got the Enigma in hand. We've got the Force Field in hand. We've got an incoming transmission in hand. Now, do we want to do anything else? We're filling our hands with upgrades over here with an action. Probably not. So we're going to let this one go too. So we got that. We throw that away. We pass turn. We draw. Now we've got Fight for a Position, which is an action that gives one of the characters bolt 2 until the end of the turn, which is pretty neat. and we're gonna need to do some damage. So we're gonna try to see what we can do here. We also have our force field and the incoming transmission, which allows me to draw 2 cards and then put any card in the hand on the top of the deck. So if we wanted to make sure that we're setting up a big attack, I'll show you how to do that later. We're probably not going to use the incoming transmission. What we will do is use the fight for position to give Optimus Prime, Gleaming Commander, bold 2. And then what we're going to do, because we want our Optimus to like make sure that he's gonna survive a little more. We're gonna give him the force field. So the force field's on Optimus Prime, Gleaming Commander. Now what force field does is if the upgraded character would take 5 or more attack damage, instead you would scrap this card and it would only take 4 damage. Now these guys, you don't have to worry about the damage right now, but if he was able to get Superion out, right, and he transformed into Superion, now it's base 6 damage. You'd be taking that much damage on an attack because, again, we don't have a lot of defense. And any boost to Superion's attack, it would basically just taking all that to the face as these guys. So that makes it a good card. So we got the bold 1. We've got this. Do we want to transform? Yeah, we should transform. We haven't transformed anybody else. So let's see here. Right now, how are we going to want to attack this? We want to try to take somebody out. We got the bold 2, which would kind of negate Skydive's tough 2. So we're probably just going to want to get Skydive off the field because it's tough 2 and it's annoying. To make things even easier, though, let's go ahead and flip Hot Rod. And Hot Rod, when you flip him in the KO area, you can do 1 damage to an enemy. So we're just going to do another damage to Skydive. Now, makes me wish that I didn't get rid of that zap, right? Because that would be perfect. We could have played played it a different way and get Skydive right off the board. But that is not the case. And sometimes that's the way the game goes. So with his 4 and his bold 2, he's going to attack Skydive. And we're gonna go for this. So the attack begins. That's a double orange. That's a single orange with a green. That is a black and an orange for the bold 2. No extra because of the white pips. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looking pretty good. But this guy's got tough too. And this deck can have some shenanigans. So let's see. So that's 1 blue, 2 blue, 3 blue for tough 1, 4 for tough 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like we didn't necessarily need the bold 2 in this position, but you can see how that defense just stacks up really, really, really heavy. So if he had 1 double pip in here, so that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against the 4, 5, 6 here, 7. I still would have been able to get him. But if he had a white pip in there, who knows what would have happened, right? So sometimes you play the card and you hope that it's going to be enough, but yeah, you never know. There is a bashing shield in here for a green pip here, a nice upgrade, but we're getting low on cards. We're probably going to keep that incoming transmission for next turn. So we're going to get rid of that and pass turn. And of course, it was enough damage to knock out Skydive. So Skydive is going to go. Actually, probably going to leave those damage counters on him. It makes sense for combiners. And we'll just, for the purposes of saving space, we're actually just going to flip him over. So he is KO'd with full damage. And then this goes over here. And we pass turn to the Superion player, and we keep going. We got an armed hovercraft, which is a pretty neat card. We're going to show you how that works in a second. as we're looking at some other stuff going on. Let's see. Do we need to transform? Oh, let's see if we... Did I actually transform him? No, we did not. But he's dead. So, Skydive, we're going to transform him. And it says, when this attacks, repair 1 damage from one of your aerial bots, which could have been cool. We could have possibly did that for Fireflight, but we really wanted the Tough 2. Tough 2 was in the way to try to get him. He was really the sponge. He was really the damage sponge. But we transformed him. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 characters in bot mode. So we're almost ready to do that. So if we see the Enigma, now it's probably a good time to take it. Do we want to speed up the game a little bit more? We don't want to put him in danger. No one else is in here. But we might want to try to take him out. Let's try to take out Prowl. So, oh, I forgot. Forgot about the action. The Dampening Field. I forget if that actually affected things. And if I did forget it, and it does affect things, I'm sorry, but that's gone for right now. So, let's see here. See, it's been a while. There's lots of things to take care of and track of in this game, but that's why we're doing this way. That's why we're trying to play this way, in this open way, to give you as much data about how to play the game as possible. So now what are we doing? So I think we're going to attack with Air Raid because we want to get Prowl out of the way. But what we can do is take advantage of some of this other stuff. So, let's see here. First, we're going to put the armed hovercraft on Air Raid. We're going to boost him up. All right, that's +1. And when you put this on the character, you can do 1 damage to each enemy. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 1. 1, 1, 1. So everybody got hit up. That's his upgrade for the turn. So now, let's play that Inferno Breath and top off Alpha Bravo. Now what that does is allow 1 to do 3 damage. So we're going to do that 3 damage to Prowl. So, so Prowl right there is now at 9. So we only have to do a little bit of damage, excuse me, to get Prowl out of the way. So what are we going to do here? We tapped him to do so. Now that means next turn, during the fight, we're going to attack. Because we're forced to. We're going to have to attack with Fireflight. Well, that doesn't necessarily it doesn't put him in danger. So if we had attacked with him before, it wouldn't be a big deal. And we're guaranteeing the damage, so we can try to take out Prowl. So now we're going to attack with Air Raid. Did I do everybody's transformation? I did, because I transformed him first. So Air Raid into Prowl. Let's do this. That's a blue. And that's a blue. No help, but he's got 4 + 1 is 5. To Prowl, we know that there's going to be no help in here. That's 1. Orange, 2 orange. That's no help. So he's going to take maximum damage. He's done for. See ya, Prowl. It's been real. So we're not transforming, but we're going to flip him and put that damage counter on him. That goes into the discard. There's no greens to speak of, so we're just going to pass turn right away. We're going to draw. We drew a bolster, which is kind of cool, but not really useful because we don't have a lot of armors in here. But we will transform, and what we will do is transform Prowl in the KO, because now he is in the KO pile. And when you do so, you can scrap an enemy weapon, which is pretty neat. So we're going to do that and scrap the Noble's Blaster. And the Inferno Breath goes away from the other turn. So we transformed, we scrapped, that's done. He's he's in the KO pile. He's damaged, but he's still doing good work, which is pretty cool. Oh, I forgot. Whoops. Sorry. We have to go back to the previous turn. You do actually have to attack with Fireflight because there's no more untapped characters on this side. So this bolster will go back to this pile here. Everything else can stay because I'm gonna take the same measures, and the Noble's Blaster can hang out for like a half second. But here's how it's supposed to go. Fireflight has to attack, so he's gonna attack into. He's only got 2 damage to deal, so but he's +1 because he has more damage counters on him. So who can I tag 1 damage on? I'm probably gonna go after Optimus just so I can get some damage out. So we're gonna flip 2 more. That's 1. That's 2. That's a 5 defense, which doesn't matter. 3 into Optimus Prime, and we flip the bolster, and then another Enigma. No help. He will take 1 damage because it's 2 minus the 3. This goes to the discard pile. Then these go to the discard pile. Then we untap everybody. Right? Everybody untaps. Oops, wrong way. Everybody untaps. Okay. Then the Noble's Blaster. Then this guy is going to get the reprocess in his hand, which will be the draw. Then we're going to do the transform. Then the Noble's Blaster goes away. Sorry about the weird rewind, but that's how that works. Now we're set. Oh, of course, these are also untapped. These bots are untapped. All right, cool. So now we're ready. We're ready to rock. Did the transformation there. These are all transformed. This is good. Got the Enigma. Got that. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. So who are we gonna want to attack with? Well, let's see here. We got the opportunity to draw 2 and put 1 to the top of the deck, or we can scrap to do a repair of 2 damage to the character that you're scrapping a weapon from. So we can get rid of Air Raid's weapon at no penalty because it would repair 2 damage from that character that we're getting rid of the weapon from. So that could be a useful thing. But right now, I think we just need cards. We're trying to get an upgrade. So we're going to play the incoming transmission. So that allows us to draw 2 cards. We draw a Precision Fire, and we draw a Grenade Launcher. That's what we're looking for. And we're going to put 1 of those cards on the top of the deck, or a card on the top of the deck. So right now, we're going to put this Precision Fire back on the top of the deck. Now, if we had a white pip in the hand when we played that, we probably want to put the white pip on there because that means people are flipping more cards, right? And that's always fun in this kind of deck. So now we can choose our attack. We can attack again anyone on the field, which is cool. We've got this guy that's got bold 1. We've got this guy that's got 1 defense. We've got this guy that's just hanging out, or we can just try to eliminate Fireflight. Now, it might be prudent to just try to eliminate Fireflight because right now we're at a little bit of a disadvantage as far as the field goes. But I'm feeling a little bit nimble here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the Grenade Launcher on Ironhide. He's got the bold 1, so that's 8 already with verse 1. No other things there. And I'm going after Silverwool because I'm going to try to do 1 shot, 1 shot, 1 kill here. Let's go for it. And I already know that I'm guaranteed at least one orange. So we go after Silverbolt. That's one. That's two. And the bold one adds yet another one. So we've got 1, 2, 3. That's 8. That's 11 coming at Silverbolt. So he's got to defend in a big, big way in order to survive. So here we go. That's a white. That's a good start. That's one blue. 2 more. 1. And a green. The Enigma. So, so that means that's 1, 2, 3 minus the 11. So that's, 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2, 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11. He defends 3 of that. 3 minus 11 is 8. 8 damage to Silverbolt. He's now fully damaged and out of play. Boom. So we got him. So before we do anything like this, you see the Enigma? We're getting real close. And it's the second time we've seen the Enigma. So even though this smoke float might be really good, we're going to take it. We're going to take the Enigma for this character. Because I have a funny feeling he's going to want to transform soon. All right, so that goes there. And you need the Enigma in order to do so. These go here. This attack is done. This grenade launcher goes away. The incoming transmission goes away. And I'll call that a pretty good turn. So, now, let's see what we got here. Everybody transformed. We did all that stuff. All right, pass turn to here. Now we draw for the Superion character. We draw a security checkpoint. Alrighty. So, let's see. We got him in bot mode, him in alt mode, him in bot mode. He's in bot mode. This other guy here is in alt mode. So Silverbolt is going to go to bot mode. And I don't know if he gets his ability while he's in the K. I don't think he gets his ability in the KO area, but we're just going to transform him. But correct me if I'm wrong. If that is a thing that needs to happen. So anyway, we've transformed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 in bot mode. 5 need to go into bot mode. So we're almost ready. We're almost ready to go. But now it's time to attack. So who do we attack with? Do we attack with Fireflight? Do we attack with Air Raid? Or do we attack with Alpha Bravo? Now in this case, we want to attack back for pretty massive damage, and Ironhide's our only target. And the only way we can do massive damage right now is with Air Raid. There's no upgrades to get off of an enemy because we can't attack Optimus to get the thing off of him. So let's see. And he's got the extra bonus, but it leaves him vulnerable. And he's not transformed. Yeah, we're going to attack with Air Raid. Air Raid's going to go into Ironhide. So that's the call there. That's 5 into 2. And then we start flipping for the attack. We're not going to play the security checkpoint, which allows you to reveal a hand and scrap all upgrades. I know, sometimes you would, but with 2 cards in hand on your opponent, you probably wouldn't want to do that. You've already seen 2 of the grenade launchers, so you're likely not going to see a third. You're probably not worried too much about upgrades, so you'd probably let that go. And you can't play the Enigma yet because, of course, we're not fully transformed. Excuse me. So, Air Raid's coming in. That's a white. That's a blue. There's a orange and another blue, which is pretty cool. So, now, so that's 5 to 6 into Ironhide. And we flip 1, which is an orange, a white, an orange, and a double orange, and that's the end of the deck. So what happens now is everything stops because we ran out of cards here. This gets shuffled and becomes the new deck. So we will be drawing from here for the next turn. So we can calculate damage now too while we're doing that. So that's 6 total minus 2. So he's going to take 4 damage, so that's going to go to 5 on Ironhide, which is fine. And then you've got that other thing in here. This is a sparring gear, which gives somebody tough 2, which is pretty neat. And there's only, I think, one of them in the deck. So when you see it, you're probably going to want to grab it. And since the security checkpoint is going to do us very good right now, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to take the sparring gear. That also signifies to the opponent that we're thinking about endgame here, because once you get the tough 2 on there, when Superion becomes Superion, he gets really hard to do damage to him, because it's bold 1, tough 2, or tough 3, or something like that. I think it's bold 1, tough 2, pierce 3. So, you know, he can do some pretty decent damage with the pierce if you're fighting a defensive deck. He just does decent damage at 6. Anyway, and of course with the tough, now you're at tough 4 if you get the sparring gear on. Whew, that's rough. That's a rough scenario. So, okay, cut that. That becomes the deck. These go now into the discard pile because they weren't included, even though they got flipped and they were out. They weren't in the discard pile at the time of the shuffle, which is the reason why it's important. You shuffle as soon as you can. As soon as you run out of cards, you have to shuffle whatever's are in the discard pile, not what's in play. And then these go away, and turn passes to this player. And we draw a improvised shield, which is not necessarily what you want. You want to get rid of these cards when you get them in a deck, because you're really looking for the double orange to just help you in that sense. So we just saw that sparring gear come out of play. So do we want to do the reprocess to get rid of the armed hovercraft? No, because we're not worried about damage just yet. But if we see that sparring gear, we're going to want to get rid of it with the reprocess. We're going to hold on to it, even if it means healing Superion by 2. We're holding on to this for dear life. So we've got this guy transformed, this guy transformed. We transformed Fireflight, or this guy, last turn. Let's see here. I think this time we're going to transform Optimus Prime. So that's your 5th transformation. We got 1 more to go, and then we can have Sentinel on Sentinel action, or Sentinel on something action, Combiner on Combiner action. That's what I was looking for. So anyway, we got that going. We got him transformed. Do we want to play cards? Well, we can't play the Enigma. We don't want to play the reprocess. And I could put the improvised shield out there, but it's kind of not great. So we're not going to do that. We transformed Optimus Prime, so he's got 5 attack now. And then it allows you to flip people in the KO area, but everybody's flipped. So we're not going to do any of that. And we look at our targets. We only have 1 valid target in Air Raid, so Optimus Prime is going after Air Raid because that's the only one we can do with his Mighty 5 attack and 2 damage. And then we start flipping. That is a double orange, and that is a single orange with a Pierce 1, with a black pip. So cool. We got 8 up against Air Raids. 8 and 0 defense. Oh no. But of course it's blue, right? So we're flipping a blue, and we flip another blue. No tough to be found. So there we go. We got that going on. So that's 2. 2 to the defense for taking out that. He still takes 6 damage. So that's 6 on top of this Air Raid here. And there we go. There you have it there. And that's the battle. No greens to speak of. So we're gonna get rid of that. Pass turn. Pass turn to this player. We draw a security checkpoint, but this is now the turn where we could choose to combine, and I think this is the time. It is the time to do the combine. So, how do you do that? You've got the Enigma in hand. You have to have everybody in their bot mode. So you transform Alpha Bravo. That's 1 bot mode, 2 bot mode. We check. 3 bot mode. We check again. 4 bot mode. We check. 5 bot mode. Okay. We throw down the Enigma. The opponent goes, oh man, it's combiner time. But that's okay. Okay, we got this going on here. We got that going on there. Alright, so we can take all these off too. Once you combine, you can't break back apart into bots, so it's kind of like this is it. So we do the combine. We're gonna put the armed hovercraft over here. So we put all the things back together. There we go. Superion is hanging out. Okay. Alrighty. And there you have it, folks. That is one combined combiner. And he's just chilling. But that's not over. What needs to happen now is we need to add up all of these little pips here to see how damaged Superion is coming into this fight. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. So we're going to change those to 20. So we put the 2 10s out. And then we've got 6, 7 more. So we're going to change these out to 7. He's got 27 damage at a 39 health. So he's still kicking, the Superion guy. He's still kicking around. He gets his armed hovercraft, right? And now, when combined, do 3 damage to an enemy is his ability. So we're going to do 3 damage to Ironhide, because we're going to try to take him out. Then we're going to play the sparring gear, right? Move his damage over here. Then we're going to play the sparring gear. So now, Superion's ready to swing. He's got 6 for damage, plus 1 is 7. He's got 39 health minus all these, so he's 39 minus 27. He's got 12 health remaining. Only got 1 defense, but he's got tough 2 plus tough 2. That's tough 4. That's craziness, right? That's crazy, crazy, crazy times. So the aerial bot Enigma has been played. We've got that. We've got your things where you can choose your attackers. We're gonna attack Ironhide because we're trying to get this done. Boom. He comes in for the swing. Superion in to Ironhide. Let's get this done. So we flip 1. We flip 2. And now we do this because he's got bold 1. So we've got to immediately shuffle. All right. So, big giant bot coming in with a huge hammer fist to the little old truck. We already know how this is going to go. He's not going to make it. Ironhide's not going to make it. But that's okay, because Optimus Prime has got something for Superion here. And we're going to see what's going on in just a few seconds. Oh, also, yeah, we're going to put that out there just for safekeeping. I think it's off camera, but I just put the damage counters down for Hot Rod, Sunstreaker, and Mirage, because we're going to need those in just a second. Okay. There's the deck. We need to flip one more. There's your bold one. So it's all blues, but that's 7 damage to 2 so far. We flip 1 black. We flip 1 orange. That's no help. He is done for. He is done for. So we're going to flip him like that. We put 2 5s because we're out of 10s, and then that's the end of the battle. There's nothing, no greens to speak of. So these all go. We're going to pass turn, and then we draw a supercharge, which is kind of cool. All right. So now, what do we got? So we've got a transformation to happen. We're going to transform here. So we can now play the Enigma, because everybody here is now transformed. So we can play the Sentinel and Enigma to become Optimus Maximus and then start wailing away. So, do we do that though? Just yet? I think. Do we do that? He comes back in at 7. He's got 15. We've got the force field. Do we risk it? Do we risk it? Let's see. Let's see how this plays out. We can do this, but what we really want that sparring gear out of the way, right? Because, tough 4 is just so hard to just get over. So what we're going to do, instead of playing the Enigma just now, is we're going to play the Reprocess. So we play the Reprocess, and we get rid of the sparring gear. That also heals Superion by 2, which I know doesn't sound great, but now he's tough 2, right? So, instead of tough 4, that makes a difference. Oh, also, everybody untaps, which only means Optimus Prime in this case, because he's the only one here. Okay, so, chilling out, ready to rock. He goes in for the attack. No bold, no extras. Don't want to play the armor, because we already have an armor. And we flip. We flip 1. We flip 2. That's 7 in on his 1. He's got tough 2. Let's see what happens. That's a green. That's a blue. That's his tough 1. That's his tough 2. So we 1, 2, 3, 4 defense on the 5, 6, 7. So he only takes 3, but he does indeed take the 3, getting him a little further down. And do we want to get the Enigma? So what does the Enigma do? The Enigma, when you have Superion on the battlefield, you can play this card to do 1 damage to each enemy. Now there's only 1 enemy left, so this card really is just a zap. Do we really want it to separate from the security checkpoint to possibly get rid of things going on? And just after what I just saw, are we going to do that as the player? Probably not. So we're going to leave that Enigma out there. Not going to get that card. So that goes away. The Reprocess goes away. These flipped cards go away. And we've now passed turn. So we all untap again because, again, now there's only 1 and 1, right? Optimus and Superion. So we untap. We got that, we got that, we got that. Everybody's passed. Draw a card for Superion. Okay. All right. So, are we worried about things in this hand, or are we worried about whether or not we're going to get flamethrowed? So right now, the Superion player might be thinking, "Oh man, he might have a, now that the deck has been shuffled, he might have the grenade launcher in his hand. He might have something else. Something else is going to keep him alive. We want to get rid of it. So instead of playing the Dampening Field as a secret action, what we're going to do is we're going to play the security checkpoint because he wants to know what's going on. So he plays the security checkpoint. So now he knows. He's got the Enigma. He's got the improvised shield, but no more because we have to scrap it because of security checkpoint just scraps all upgrades. But then he saw the supercharge and he went, oh no. He's got the supercharge. There's nothing I can do about that. That's rough. But at least I got rid of his improvised shield. But, I mean, and really, he's just like, oh, that was kind of a bummer. But now what's going to happen is he's going to go, all right, fine, I'm angry. I'm attacking. I attack Optimus Prime with Superion. Coming in. Bold 1. So he attacks. 1 blue. 2 blue. 1 blue. No help. 7 against 1. Flipping. 1 black. No help. 1 orange. No help. 7 minus 1 is 6. Optimus Prime goes, ooh, takes 6 damage. So now he's at 8. 8 damage to 15. He's a little hurt, but he's still hanging in there. Still got 7 health left. All right, so this goes away. There's no greens to speak of. We're going. And now it's Optimus Maximus player's turn. It's time to draw. Draws an incoming transmission. Okay. So now is when it's time. So now we play the Enigma. The security checkpoint's gone, by the way. We play the Sentinel Enigma. So now we've got to do all this stuff. This math. 10s, 10s, 10s everywhere. All sorts of damages everywhere. This. All these cards go away. Okay. Put these over here. All right. So remember, he's got the force field. Oh, wait. I forgot about the force field. -1 takes. We gotta back up. Sorry. So that's 8. -1 is 7. -1 is 6. He took 6, but he didn't. He would have only taken 4. So that's 3 -1. There we go. That's where we're at. Sorry, folks. Okay. So now the Enigma has been thrown down. The gauntlet has been thrown. Optimus Maximus is storming into the battlefield. Alrighty. So we got that going up. He shows up. Optimus Maximus shows up and he's like, what's up? I got this. We do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 40. 50. It's 40. 55. 56. 56 damage onto Optimus Maximus. He's a hurt puppy. But he's also a strong guy. When this battles, you can draw a card and then play in 1, which is pretty cool. And then it is time to do the attack. And there's no choice but to go for it. We attack with Optimus Maximus and his crazy amounts of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 55, 56. He's got 9 health remaining. So this could be the battle of the ages here. We get combiner after combiner. All right. No other bonuses. That's a white pip. That's an orange pip. That's an orange pip for the white. And there's an Enigma. All right. So 2 added to 9. That's 11 damage. So we go blue. Blue. Tough 1. tough too. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 11 damage, -5. He's taking 6. Superions get smacked up for 6 damage. So now he's at, so 5, 6. It's at 34 damage. Superion's shaking in his boots. Alright. No greens to speak of here. We got some greens here. Got a bashing shield. Which is kind of cool. We got the Enigma. We got all that stuff. What else do we need? We got the supercharge. We're taking the bashing shield. We're getting rid of the incoming transmission. We're going for the bashing shield. Just in case there's any shenanigans on the other side. Boom. Alright. We do that. Sentinel and Enigma goes away. All this goes away. Everybody untaps. And then this player draws this card. Noble's Blaster. So we've already got one. Do we want to take the plus? Or do we want to do the thing? So we know that the other guy has a supercharge, right? We also know that he's pretty hurt. Superion's pretty hurt. We don't want him flipping super amounts of cards. So we're going big and we're going home. Or we're going home. He sets the secret action, which is the Dampening Field. He's going with taking out the armed hovercraft to get the Noble's Blaster so he can get the 1 more damage in. Right? And then that's it for him. He's got to go through. He's swinging for the fences. That's 8 damage now. White pip. 1. So it's 1, 2, bold 1, and then 1 for the white pip, 2 for the white pip. So no help, just 8 damage to the 1. Let's see what happens. 1 orange, 1 white, 1 black, 1 orange. No help on defense. So it's 8 minus 1. He's taking 7 damage. Was it enough? Was it enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 55. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50. 50, 55, 56. And we're taking 7 more. So that's 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 63 damage. 63. We're cleaning this up. He's still alive by 2. He's still alive by 2. No greens to speak of here. No greens to speak of there. He is just barely standing. And now we draw for turn. We get the grenade launcher. What is going on? He set the secret action. Who knows what it is? But he's trying to think, all right, well, we don't have to worry about scrapping armor. We're not going to make it another time. We gotta do this. We gotta do this right now. Throws the grenade launcher down. Superion player goes, oh no. We throw the supercharge down. Superion player goes, oh no. And then the Optimus Maximus player is like, that's it. I'm going for it. Win this battle. Draw a card. Boom. All right, we draw a card. Then plan 1, which we can put 1 card from the hand on top of the deck. Well, we don't have a white pip, so we don't have any help, but we want to guarantee that we're going to get at least 1 orange. So we're going to put that 1 orange back on the deck just so we can guarantee at least 1 orange. And then we're flipping. So we flip 1. But so the defense happens. The Dampening Field flips right at the first flip. And then he goes, ha, you can only flip 4 cards. And they're like, oh, well, good thing I put the orange on here. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. It's a white pip, but we can't flip anymore. And so we had 1, 2. That's the bold 1. That's a bold 2. We didn't get the bold 3 because we couldn't do it from the dampening field, but that's okay because we got 9 plus 1 is 10 plus 4 is 14 plus 1 is 15 plus 2 is 16. 16 damage coming at Superion. What is going to happen? I don't know. It's crazy. He's got tough 2. Let's do this. 1 blue. 2 blue. 1 tough 2 blue. Or tough 1 blue. Tough 2 blue. That's it. That's all you got. So you got 5 coming out the 10, 16. So so we got 16 damage coming in, -5, taking 11. That is enough to defeat the Superion. He is done for. That's a KO. Optimus Maximus rules the day on the knockdown drag-out battle that basically is your full game explanation for how to play this game with a little bit of tips and tricks thrown in there. What's up? That was pretty cool. I love this game. This game is so awesome. I got a little like ringside announcer hype going on here in the battle. I just thought it was really fun. I got all charged up. It's what makes this game so good because you never know what's going to happen. You know, because you saw like Superion, like once he became Superion, you're doing all sorts of crazy damage to this guy. So, you know, I guess people might have been thinking, oh well, Superion might got this, but you can't think that because you never know. You never know what's going on because somebody could draw into that rocket, you know, that missile launcher or rocket launcher, grenade launcher, you know, and you just never know. And that, my friends, is how this game is played. This game is played, and to Anthium, that is how these decks can battle. And you also see now, this one game is taking. Let me lean back. 1 hour and 17 minutes of gameplay, of pure, like, brute force, rock'em sock'em moments here. and that's how it is. That's how this game goes. So you can also see that they're very balanced. You've got all sorts of really cool stuff happening with the deck. It isn't just like a flamethrower match where, like, you know, basically who strikes first wins. You just never know. You just never know how it goes. Now, obviously, there was some play errors in here because I'm a little rusty. I think Superion might have had a little bit of an edge, being able to use some of that tap to do damage. You may have been able to take out a character before necessary, but I think it was actually a pretty even match considering, because I think I made a mistake or two on the Optimus Maximus side too, in that sense as well. But there you have it. There's your exhibition match complete between Superion and Optimus Maximus, where Optimus Maximus comes out on top. So we're going to go head on back to the wrap-up zone. We're going to wrap this up, and we'll see you in just a second. All right, and we're back over here. Well, I hope you guys did appreciate that fun little tidbit, and you know, I enjoyed playing that match. Can't wait to start playing again. I hope Anthium, you know, you guys are you know, ready over there with you and the fam, or you know, whoever wants to play. We'll get together. We'll play some rounds. You know, even if it's like offline or anything like that. And then of course we got to set up that stream where you and I can throw down, maybe even throw down a little bit with Eric. We pull him out of work and, you know, do some real team RTFC battle action over the webs. So hope you guys enjoyed as watching as much as I enjoyed playing and explaining. Sorry again, it's a little bit of a long-winded vid, but you know, I get excited when it's Transformers, man. You gotta just do it. You gotta just go through and get it in there. So with all that being over, we want to thank you again for watching so much. Be sure to hit down below, hit the comment section, hit like, hit subscribe, do all the things necessary. Don't forget my buddy Chris, the Atari Creep. Hit up his channel, hit up Anthium's channel, show them all some love. Anthium is super close. He's like five away or something like that from hitting 100 subs. Get him there, guys. You guys sitting in this video, you made it here to the end. You saw this thing, you're like, oh man, this is really cool. Yeah, but who's that Anthium guy? You hit right now. You go to his channel, you hit that sub, and you give him those subs, please. It's five. You just get 5 more, and he gets to 100, and then hopefully he'll do a celebration video and just be like, yes, I got it, I made it, And I just want to be a part of like trying to help him out. So go show him some love, guys. But until next time, I know it's not a good times video, but I'm doing it anyway. We'll catch you next time for some good times. This is Rich. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
RTFC.baconicecream.com